Welcome to the weekly team call. It's an exciting week, so hope everybody is doing well. Well, okay, so we have this team call every Monday, 10 o'clock. My name is Adrian. I'll be your host for tonight. And tonight will be a very, very exciting night for everyone, okay? Let me go through, of course, the housekeeping rules. Let me just take 2 minutes. And I will share the screen. Okay, so this happens every Monday night, 10 o'clock Singapore time, and we have 30 minutes of social proof. We invite leaders, okay, from all over the world to share their testimonies, share their journey, and some lessons to learn. And for new members, okay, always go to onebigteaminternational.com. That is www.onebigteamintl.com. You can find all the World Ventures resources in that website. Do add yourself and your members into the One Big Team Facebook groups, World Venture groups, and also subscribe to One Big Team TV on the YouTube channel. These are resources available to every member around, so do make use of that. Of course, the very important thing is don't forget to download your Dream Trips app and go and play and browse around in the apps and look for your favorite trips to go. All right. And for new members, especially, welcome to the platform, welcome to World Ventures. You are eligible to go for your Welcome Dream Trip, and Welcome Dream Trips are available to everyone within your first 90 days of your sign up. And all, just for your information, all calls, all webinars and online events are recorded and they can be found in onebigteaminternational.com website. Okay, so, all right. So, I'm very, very privileged, okay, to really invite this gentleman to be on tonight's call. I actually know this gentleman for the past 14 years, but back then we used to meet once a year during Chinese New Year gatherings, and it is a privilege. 3.5 years back, when we saw World Ventures, we began to work with each other, partnering up and really working hand in hand. And it is through this platform that we really build our relationship, and we are sharing stories, like never before. Okay, this man, okay, he started off his career as the financial controller of a government-linked company, and then he saw network marketing 16 years ago, when he was just 20 over years old. And once he went into this industry, he never looked back. He earned his first $1 million within the first 3 years of joining the first company. And he semi-retired his family, himself, and brought his family to travel all over the world. Okay, so his name is Jet To, RMD Jet To. He's actually a certified World Ventures regional trainer. He just back from his last training session in Sweden, I believe. He achieved RMD within 7 months. Recently, he really blew the team up. He himself sponsored 8 people in less than 28 days, right? He was featured on Channel News Asia. He's a dedicated husband, servant leader. So without further ado, I would like to invite this gentleman, this brother of mine, Jet, on the call. Jet, hello, Jet.
Hi, hello. Hi, Adrian.
Good to have you on the call, Jet. Despite your busy schedule, thank you so much.
Sure. My pleasure.
All right. Let's go straight in, okay? I'm sure everybody is excited tonight to hear from you. Everybody, if you don't have your notes with you, please go and take your pen and paper and get ready to learn from this gentleman. Jet, okay, maybe let's, for the new members, maybe we can share the story of how you came across to see World Ventures and what made you decide to join World Ventures.
Okay, I see. Hi, everybody. Right. Thank you for calling in. Right. At this time of the hour, I believe that all of you definitely must succeed in World Ventures. It's no longer just a one. And back to Adrian, bro, your question is how I come on board World Ventures, right? Okay, I'll just share, summarize what you call it, the story of how I came on board. I actually knew about World Ventures sometime in 2011. Okay, from one of my co-members at 1 Degree 15 Marina Club. Okay, he's a celebrity. But back at the point in time in 2011, I didn't think much about the platform. Okay, I didn't think much about World Ventures. I thought it's just another company whereby it comes to Singapore after 1 year, 2 years, you will disappear, right? Because there's a lot of companies out there. And what happens is that in 2014, from the time 2011 to 2014, I kept on seeing the little blue sign. Okay, you should be here, you should be here, you should be here, you should be here. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I don't really want to be there, right? Okay, I don't really want to be there. But I keep on saying, you should be here, you should be here. And that is when I'm thankful. I'm thankful to Max, okay, my dear friend Max. He sent me a happy belated birthday message. And for myself, I say, if you are sincere, buy me lunch, right? If you are sincere, buy me lunch. But my intention was not to have lunch together with him because back then, Siri and myself, we knew him for a while, but we weren't very close. But of course, over the past couple of years, we've grown to be closer, okay, friends and partners as well. And what happens is that I said, bro, if you are sincere, okay, buy me lunch, right? Okay. And he said, yes, okay, I'll buy you lunch. But the intention of me having lunch with him is not to have lunch, okay, but to find out, okay, why he is able to achieve success in World Ventures. And what is this amazing platform called World Ventures? I just wanted to meet him to be a spy. So my intention is just to be a spy, okay? Nothing more, nothing less, just to be a spy, understand the company, and copy whatever I can from World Ventures and copy into my what you call that, previous organization, and see what I can do to do better, right? So when I first met Max in 2014, I was already semi-retired together with my wife, and we were pretty free and easy. But we just wanted to know what World Ventures can offer in terms of what I can copy from World Ventures, but definitely not to join World Ventures. And to cut the story short, I accessed World Ventures for 9 days, 9 nights. Okay, Max invited me to the major event to take a look. And after even a major event, I didn't come on board immediately. I asked tons and tons of questions, lots of questions. Okay, met up with Asia, right? Top of the top, James Lee, have meals together. And I still didn't join until after almost like close to 2 weeks of research. Then I decided to be on board, right? But when I first came on board, I didn't go all in. What I did is that I actually booked an air ticket to fly all the way to Plano, Texas. And thanks to Dr. Wu, okay, for linking me up to Wayne Nugent. So I have the chance to have dinner together and ask him very serious questions about why World Ventures. Right? This is what happened. And of course, thanks to the happy belated birthday message by Max, I've never looked back ever since, right? Okay. Thanks,
Wow.
Adrian. Thank you.
Wow, okay. So the story here is go and wish everyone out there, all your friends, happy birthday. Go and buy them lunch and go and show them what World Ventures is about.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Jet, I understand.
Sure.
I've seen, some of your YouTube videos. For
Sure.
all the
Yeah.
members out there, if you want to know more about Jet's story, you can go on YouTube and go and search on this title called Jet Setter by Jet To. And that is where Jet, you actually tell the whole journey, the story of your.
Okay, when you search it, you can't really find it because I set it as a private link.
Okay.
So maybe later on, Adrian, you can show the link to people so that you can access. Because I just prefer to keep it private, right? Okay.
Sure.
So because we're all one big team, and that is when later on Adrian will show you the link. It's a private link, and then details in there for the details of the story, ins and outs, and very detailed of how I met up with Max, right, at Toast Box at Bishan Junction 8, and also this. After that, he linked me up to some of the top people in World Ventures. So over there, I'll share all the details as well. Okay, thanks, Adrian. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Jet. Yeah. All right, let's go into the topic proper. The topic for tonight is leadership and how do we actually, lead from the front. Okay, So, Jet, I think in your view, maybe you want to share what are the main characteristics of leadership and the characteristics that you believe a true leader will have possessed.
Yeah. Okay, actually, when Adrian asked me for a call, then at first I was a little bit reluctant. Why is that so? Because earlier on in One Big Team, I think about 1 year ago, I already did a call with some of the leaders over here, both in English and Mandarin. So I do not want to repeat the things about, why you come on board World Ventures, what do you do in the beginning and things like that. And if you search in One Big Team TV, okay, on YouTube, you can find the details of it, right? So you can go there and watch it. You can go there and watch from various top leaders, okay, to understand about their journey, etc. So when Adrian asked me, okay, I was discussing with him whether we can share certain topics, okay, and for the past few weeks, okay, I discussed with my partners on this very important topic called leadership, right? And that is when Adrian said, okay, we will focus on this team. And that is right. I will share what I've learned over the past 16 years in terms, of course, I'm still learning. Okay, I'm not a perfect leader. I'm not a top #1 leader in the world. Okay, every one of us, including myself, we are still learning. We are still growing as well. Learning from top mentors like Mark Estera, Matt Morris, etc. Right. So I'll give him my best. Okay, this for the next half an hour or so to share what I learned in terms of this particular for the past 16 years. Would that be good? All right. Okay. So what happens is that 16 years ago, when I first came on board this industry, I was asked a question, right? I was asked a question, right? Do you want to be a leader or do you just want to be an ordinary distributor, right? And of course, back then, I didn't know much about the difference between the leader and the distributor. And I started to ask my mentors back 16 years ago this question, what's the difference, right, between leader and ordinary distributor, okay? And in summary, what they shared with me is this, okay, in just a few, 2 short sentences is that if you think and act like a leader, you will get leader results and leader size bonus check, right? And if you think and act like an ordinary distributor in World Ventures, okay, if you think and act like an ordinary rep, you will get, okay, in short, peanuts, right? So that's basically what my leaders told me, my mentors told me 16 years ago when I first came on board this industry in 2001. And they said, which one do you want to choose, right? Do you want to be a leader or do you want to be just an ordinary distributor? And that's one of the first few questions that my mentors back in the past asked me as I stepped foot into this industry, right? They didn't just tell me to write a list. They didn't just tell me to quickly go and invite. They didn't just tell me to, do the 2-step invite, etc. They asked me this very serious question: do you want to be a leader or do you want to be an ordinary distributor? And of course, guess what my answer is? My answer is to be a leader, of course, right? Okay, such that leaders, if I may ask you a question, who impacts more people around the world? Leaders or just ordinary reps and followers, right? Definitely leaders, right? Leaders are out there to impact more people's lives, and that is why leaders, okay, are out there to earn leader-size bonus checks as well. And that is when today I'm going to share with you for the past 16 years what I learned from the various mentors, and it all boils down to the 7 principles of leadership, right? You can jot it down. If you're driving, okay, you can park by one side, or else, just continue to drive and listen in. Later, you can get some of your team members or your leaders to share with you the notes as well, right? Okay, so right, I'll go by one, and as each principle I shared with, okay, I will chat with Adrian together as well before I go on to the next principle. Is that all right? And before I even share these 7 principles, whereby some of them I really spent a lot of money to learn, and I went through thick and thin, blood and sweat, okay, right, and tears as well, in order to boil down to learn this and to act out these 7 principles of leadership. And at the same time, as you're listening into these 7 principles of leadership, I need you to do one thing, right? Why is that so? Because if you can later, definitely you are the group of people must succeed in World Ventures, and it can definitely set high standards for you. Clear so far? right? So one thing I expect you all to do, right, not to say demand, but I expect you all to do is that when I share these 7 principles, out of each of these 7 principles, you rate yourself. Okay, be sincere, be honest about it. You rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Currently, on your progress in World Ventures, on a scale of 1 to 10, based on each particular principle of leadership, how many points are you at right now? Okay, you could be a 3, you could be a 4, you could be a 5, you could be a 6. Of course, if you're confident, you say that you have done the point well, right? Okay, you can rate yourself as a 10 as well. Clear so far? So as I run through the principle, just jot down on your piece of paper or notebook on a scale of 1 to 10, right? How many points are you at this single point in time? All right. And not only rating down a scale of 1 to 10, after this team call, you can actually get in touch with your leaders, right? And discuss with your leaders your ratings for each of these 7 principles after this team call, and ask them, okay, ask them, leader, what can I do to improve from 5 to 7? What can I do to improve from 7 to 10, etc.? Right? Because when I do anything, I want to make sure that it's not just learning. Because too many of us are calling into too many Zoom calls, learning from too many audios, and learning from many videos. But you know what's the sad thing at the end of the day? Nobody took any action. And nobody took any action. You know, they feel good right after learning, but they never take any action to improve. And that's why 16 years ago, I learned there's a difference between, they taught me in Chinese, okay, 2 words, 一个是怎么说训练 right 一个是训练一个是上课学习 which means there's a difference between learning and drilling and learning and practicing as well, right? Okay, so let me go into it. First principle, right, you can write that down. First principle of leadership is actually to step up as a leader, right? First principle of leadership is actually to step up as a leader, right? When I first came on board this industry, my leader asked me one thing, right? Okay, do you want to be a leader or do you want to be an ordinary distributor, right? Okay, and of course I said I want to be a leader, and they told me immediately, if you want to be a leader, you got to step up. You got to step up. And I was asking myself this question. I just joined the industry, right? Okay, just for a few days. And what happens is that, for those of you who know my story, I used to be a very shy person. I was an introvert. I have very few friends, okay? My friends, I can use my fingers to count. I'm a very shy person. I talk very slowly, right? My cousins and wife, okay, they will know that, right? Okay, and that is when I'm the last person on earth to ever step up as a leader. Why is that so? Because back in the past, my notion of stepping up as a leader is that I need to wait until I'm perfect in inviting, I'm perfect in presentation, I'm perfect in closing, I'm perfect on the stage as a good public speaker, I'm perfect at promoting training, I'm perfect at training the group members, then I will step up as a leader. So this is my original mindset. Okay, was my original mindset when I first came on board this industry, and my leaders told me, no, right? You do not need to be equipped yourself with all these skill sets, okay, right? And then you become a leader. In fact, if you want to become a leader, that's just in what you call that, instant, right? Like a snapshot of the fingers, and whereby you say, yes, I will step up as a leader, right? And when you start to say that, right, just like many years ago, I told my mentors that, okay, good, I will step up as a leader. And that's when, you know, the mindset change is no longer just running the business as an ordinary distributor or a rep, whereby, you know, you take things as it comes, right? Okay, you learn, and before you know it, 6 months have passed, 1 year has passed, 2 years has passed, 3 years has passed, and we have not even stepped up as a leader yet, right? So what my mentors did to me 16 years ago is that they asked me to make the decision to step up as a leader, right? I don't need to be a good presenter. I don't need to be a good inviter. In fact, I don't need to have any results yet, but I got to make the decision to say, yes, right from the moment I come on board this amazing industry and this amazing company, World Ventures, I step up as a leader, right? Oh. So if you can, tell your leaders this, right, okay? You, today, if you have not stepped up as a leader yet, You today tell your leader, leader, I made the decision. I'm going to step up as a leader. I'm going to break out of my comfort zone. Tell me what to do to become a leader, which later I'll share as well, right? Okay. And from there, right, your life will totally change because you start to step up. And one of the things my mentors told me is this, okay? He asked me this very quick question, right? He asked me, Jet, do you know how much you invested in the industry, in the organization already? And back then, I need to invest about $5,000 over dollars, right, to become a wholesaler in the business, in the health and beauty industry. And what happens is that my mentors told me, no, Jet, okay, you have not invested 5,000. In fact, because we got your credit card number, every single huge sum of money from your credit card. In fact, you will be investing tens and tens of thousands of dollars into the company already. And I was quite taken aback. And of course, later on, they tell me, okay, just joking with you. At the same time, they are not really joking. They're asking me this. And they told me, you know why a lot of people, they join network marketing, they never really succeed big time? One of the most important reasons is that they only invest a few $1,000s. And in World Ventures, right, all of us, we come on board just by investing a few $100s, right? That's why most people, because the investment is low, right, they will never step up to do things out of their comfort zone. So my mentor 16 years back then, they told me one thing that I'll never forget is that right from the day that you come on board, imagine that you have already invested $500,000. Imagine. And I want you to write this question down. I want you to ask this question to yourself, okay? To yourself. If you have invested $500,000 into World Ventures, would you be doing what you have been doing for the past 1 week, or would you do more? Those of your leader, or would you say, yes, I will step up as a leader and I'll do whatever it takes to be successful in the company, in the industry, right? So number one principle, step up as a leader, right? Okay. Yep. Adrian, that's number one principle.
Wow,
Right.
fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
So stepping up as the leader is the first decision that we all have to decide for ourselves. And when you decide that you are going to step up, nothing will ever stop you from doing the things you need to do. Yep.
Yes.
Awesome, Jet. All right.
Right. Okay. So let me move on to the second leadership principle. Second leadership principle, which is very important, which is what a lot of people in this industry, they never do at all. That's why they never move on to become great leaders in the industry, right? The second principle is set a powerful vision and dream big, right? You can write it down. Set a powerful vision and dream big, right? So when I first came on board the industry, okay, my leaders asked me to write down my goals. Write down my goals. And they asked me this. Okay, and this is not after 1 month, after 2 months I go for training. This is within the first 1 week. The first 1 week. In fact, if I don't remember wrongly, it's within the first 2 days. They asked me to write down my goals. What do you want to achieve through the company? What do you must achieve through the industry? And they added on by asking me, okay, telling me that it's not an issue. If money and problem is not an issue, if whatever you dare to write down, there's no way you can fail. There's no way you can fail. What would you write down in terms of your goals, right? So they asked me to write down several aspects of my goals, okay, including financial goals as well. And at first I was thinking, maybe if I can earn, few $100s, few $1,000s, I'll be pretty happy, right? But they say, if you cannot fail and if you go out there to dream big, what is your vision for yourself and your organization in this industry, in this business, right? And that's when I say, okay, heck care lah. And if I write it down, if I don't achieve it, nobody is going to lock me up in prison, right? Okay. So I just write down and I was showing it to a lot of, okay, I don't know whether I have the book here. I was showing it to a lot of my leaders and team members is that this is the book. This is the book that I used 16 years ago. 16 years ago. And I kept it still with me. Why? Because I told Serene, right, is that not only I copy notes in this one book, okay, Wow Wow West, that's a long time back in the year 2001. Within the span of 3 years, I moved on to learn so much from my mentors and act on it. I copied at least 34 books of notes, 34 books of A4 size notes. And of course, I don't have my 34 books with me. Okay, I can show you a photo of the 34 books one day, because I tell myself and I tell Serene, this will be the best inheritance I can ever pass down to my daughter Celeste. Right? Right? Not my money, but the wisdom and knowledge that I gained in the first 3 years in this industry. And if I can just quickly flip into it, all right, one of the things that my mentors asked me is to write down, if whatever goes, right, you write down, there's no way you can fail, right? What is it that you want to achieve? What is your goal? What is your goal? Very, very quickly, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, I don't know whether you can see it. This is in terms of the material and the financial goals, right? And of course, my writing is like a doctor, even though I'm finance trained. And it says over here, okay, if I can just read it out to you, is to earn my first $1 million, okay, in 5 years' time, right? Back then was 2001, and I wrote down myself, okay, is to earn my first $1 million from the industry in 5 years' time, right? Back then I was 26 years old, and in 5 years I'll be 32 years old. Did I achieve my goal? No, I didn't achieve my goal, right? Okay, I only managed to achieve my goal of earning my first $1 million in the industry at the age of 29 years old. And that's 2 years shorter than whatever I wrote down. All thanks to my mentors for asking me to dare to dream big and to set a big vision, right? And recently I was sharing with the group is that have a huge vision, if possible, within the first 48 hours of your business. Clear so far? Within the first 48 hours of your business, talk to your leaders, right? If your members are the right potential leaders, ask them this question, right? What is your vision? What is your big dreams for yourself and your group in this industry, in this company or World Ventures, right? And if you can get them to write down their big vision within 48 hours, that will be the best. If you have been part of World Ventures for the past couple of years and you have never written down a big vision, tonight is the night that you write down your big vision now. Right? Tonight is the night that you step up as a leader. And secondly, like I mentioned, second principle, set a powerful vision and dare to dream big. Right? You see a lot of people that come on board World Ventures. I think you have seen many of them, especially those who have been here for a while. They say, yes, yes, I must succeed. They never set a big goal. They just said refer for, pay no more. Right? And I believe, you know, some of us leaders, you have seen people whereby they come on board, they refer for, after that you don't see them anymore. Why? Because they started out their business in World Ventures just by setting a small goal. So after they achieve the goal, they find that, you know, no longer do I need to put in the hard work anymore. No longer do I need to put in the time and effort anymore. And you don't hear from them. You don't hear about them anymore. Some of them even reach SR, senior rep. They reach director. And because they just started out setting this small goal and small vision, right? After they reach SR and director, you don't hear from them anymore. You don't see them regularly at live presentation, right? And they suddenly just vanish in thin air. Why is that so? Because right from day one, if possible, right from the first 48 hours, they never set a powerful vision and dream big, right? Most people are not able to go through obstacles. Why? It's not because they're not capable. It's because they think too small. And what I learned many years ago is that, okay, I learned this in Mandarin, okay, because the first part of my education, myself and Serene, we got to learn it in Mandarin, and I wasn't very good in Mandarin at a point in time. So I learned this in Mandarin. I'm going to share with you. Of course, I'll translate it in English. Okay, in Mandarin, it says, 唯有不可思议的目标才能够带给你热血沸腾的能量. I repeat, 唯有不可思议的目标才能够带给你热血沸腾的能量. What it means is that only big goals can give you the right energy for you to push through. That's why when you interview leaders like, you know, Max, James, Dr. Wu, they all come on board not just wanting to refer for, pay no more. They all came on board, okay, with a big vision of growing this throughout Asia and the world. And that's why they are able to persevere and sustain until now and achieve tremendous results, right? So principle number 2, set a powerful vision and dream big. A lot of my friends, they all dream big, right? Some of my friends, they are the owners of Job Central, okay? Sold off to a career builder giant. He didn't want to tell me how much he sold to the US career builder giant for, okay? But we estimate he at least sold the company for $40 to $50 million, right? And I know personally the owners of Hungry Go Where and SG Karma as well, whereby they subsequently sold to Singtel and SPH as well. And that is when these are the people whereby right from day one, as I talk to them, they already start to think big. They begin with an end in mind, right? So that's principle number 2, right? Thank you.
Right. So with big vision, then we can achieve things that we have never achieved before. And I think that is a very good point for everybody to think about your goals. If you haven't thought about them, go big. And that is where we start to achieve the unimaginable.
You're right. Yes. Okay. That's absolutely right, Adrian. And principle number 3, right? You can jot it down. I mean, I told Adrian one thing. Tonight's Zoom call and team call may be a little bit longer, right? But I'll do my very best to finish it as quickly as possible. But I also want to give you the best value as much as possible, even though this team call is free. But I want you to give you the most important nuggets that I gathered for the past 16 years. So principle number 3, you can write that down, okay? You can jot it as a question as well. Do I have a more superior and better attitude than those that I lead? Okay? Do I have a more superior and better attitude than those I lead? What do I mean by that? Okay? I mean, you can have a big vision, you can have a, thinking big, set big goals and things like that. But can you imagine? Okay? I mean, I've come across leaders whereby people call themselves leaders and they're always complaining about the complaint. They're always complaining about the products. They're always complaining about this, about that. And they'll complain about all other things other than themselves. All right? They didn't complain about, the little amount of effort that they put into the business. They didn't complain about a huge amount of time that they spend on leisure and not spending on the business, but they complain about all other things, okay? Complain about their upline, complain about the leaders, complain about the company, complain about the management, etc., etc. And that is when today, if you want to be a top leader, right, okay, you need to have a more positive attitude than your team members, because all your team members are going to look up to you, okay? If there's a group that is existing there, for them to look up to you, right? Okay, so you need to have a more superior and better attitude than those that you lead, right? And you need to ask yourself this question: are you more coachable than your teammates? Are you more coachable than those that you lead? What do I mean by that? When, okay, let's say for example, Mark Acera, okay, ask us leaders to do certain things, be that major event, do we go for it? Clear? Right? Because people don't follow what you say, people follow what you do, right? And in network marketing, over the past many years, I've learned that this business is simple, but it's definitely not easy, okay? It's simple, but it's not easy. Why do I say it's simple? Because in this business, whatever you want your group to do, you just have to do it first. You just have to do it first. You want your team to be coachable, you yourself start to be coachable first. You want your team to go for all the major events, you start to be there at the major event first. Clear so far? Right? And recently I heard something from some of the team members. I'm totally disgusted by it. Because can you imagine someone out there actually is telling sidelines this thing, telling sidelines this thing that, hey, don't need to go to view from the edge. Don't need to go to view from the edge, right? You know what this guy said? Don't need to go to view from the edge, which is happening end September, right? Together with Mark Aceta and Wen Nugent. And this gentleman said, don't need to go to view from the edge because only weak people go for training. Only weak people go for training. Can you imagine? Oh, tak boleh tahan, man. Oh, tak boleh tahan, right? Okay. Only weak people go for training. Do you mean Matt Morris is weak? Do you mean James Lee is weak? Do you mean Dr. Do you mean Max is weak? Do you mean all the leaders that go there and attend this powerful training, they are all weak? I don't think so, right? So that's when we got to ask ourselves as a leader, right? Okay, third principle, do you have a better attitude and a better coachability? You yourself are coachable more than the team that you are leading, right? And one of the things about attitude is that sometimes, of course, I myself face rejection. I myself face, downturns. I myself face plateau, etc. And as leader, okay, one thing I must say is that as a leader, we are being stripped of all privileges to feel down, to feel depressed, to feel tired, right? And this is something I always share with the group is that all leaders, and if you feel yourself that you're stepping up, and all of you have a capacity to do that, because or else you won't call in at this late hour at night, right? Customers will be sleeping already. Those who take this business as a hobby will be sleeping already. Is that right? Okay, or watching television, Korean drama, all right? And that is when we leaders, you yourself as a leader, let me share with you this not so happy thing, is that we leaders have been stripped of all privileges of feeling depressed, of feeling sad, of feeling tired, okay, of finding excuses, etc., etc. Right? And I've seen so many top leaders around the world. I've seen a lot in various industries. And let me share with you, if you want to be a leader, don't find excuses. If you want to find excuses, don't be a leader. As simple as that. If you want to earn leader size check, right, okay, don't find excuses. If you find excuses, don't expect to have big size checks into your bank account. Don't expect to go on stage to be recognized. Clear? Okay? Right? Today I've been a little bit more direct, but I always tell my team members and my leaders is that these people come on board. I mean, I'm not talking about customers. Customers, let them just enjoy the dream trip. Sometimes they come for live presentation once in a month. We are so happy to see them. We say, oh, I'm so happy to see you, right? And I have fired them, right? Okay, but in your mind is that let's treat these customers well, okay? Right? Customer well, right? For me, what I learned in network marketing over the past 16 years is that I'm not here to do customer service. I'm here to work with leaders. I'm here to find the right leaders. I'm here to groom the right leaders such that they can succeed big time in this industry, right? Customers, I treat customers and leaders differently. I treat customers and potential leaders, always tough on my leaders, but I'm never tough, and I always compliment the customers' dresses, right? The customers' looks, right? Because I know that's what customers like to hear. They do not like to hear from you, you know, they must go for the training. They don't like to hear because they always grumble. So just treat them as customers, right? But for leaders, we got to, right? As I go about sharing principle 3, right? Adrian, is it okay if I go into principle 4, right? So principle 4 is, right, you need to set your bar higher to lead by example. Okay, principle 3, do you have a superior and more better attitude than those that you lead, right? The next principle is that, do you set your bar higher, right, to lead by example? That's very important. And what this means is that it includes things like taking initiative instead of waiting, right? How do I know whether a leader is a leader? You know that leader is a leader when that person does his business in World Ventures without your constant motivation and without your constant checking. And that's a leader, right? Okay. So before you attract the right leaders, who must become leaders first? Ourselves, right? So do you want to raise the standards for your group, right? For us, I always believe that we need to have faith in our leaders. We need to have faith in our groups. For those who must succeed, we need to expect great things from them. We need to expect great things from them, right? Okay. And that is when I expect all the leaders, all the members who must succeed in this business, okay, not the customers, not the hobbies, not people who just want to, you know, try the business and things like that. These people, I'll treat them differently. But for those who must succeed in World Ventures, right, I will expect them to turn up at every live presentation. Okay, I will expect them to turn up at every live presentation. Because let me ask you a question. Okay, would you would you as a leader set the bar higher and expect the people in your group who must succeed in World Ventures to turn up at every live presentation? I believe the answer would be yes. Is that correct? Would you expect and set a higher standard for your group, those who must succeed in World Ventures, for them to do the right number of invites every single day, invite, present, close, train, and promote every single day, including weekends as well, because they must succeed in the business? Definitely you will do that. Is that right? Would you expect and set high standard for your group, those who really must succeed, for them to sponsor huge number of people within their first month upon coming on board World Ventures? Definitely yes, right? And let me ask you this question. If you want to set a high standard for your team, who needs to set a high standard first? Definitely for ourselves, right? Okay? Because only if you can set a high standard for yourself, then you can set a high standard for the group that you lead. Clear so far? Right? That's very, very important. That's why I told Max, when I first came on board, I'm definitely going to drive this fast. Why? Because I need to lead by example. Right? People don't watch what you say, they watch what you do. Right? Okay, they watch what you do. And what I learned from John C. Maxwell, which is one of the top leadership guru in the world, okay, is that you can only use ways that you inspire yourself to inspire your group. I repeat, you can only use ways that you inspire yourself to inspire your group, right? In Mandarin, it means 你只能用激励自己的方法来激励你的团队，你只能用激励自己的方法来激励你的团队， right? And if we as leaders, we are not tough on ourselves, we don't set high standard for ourselves, let me share with you, we will never be able to set high standards for the group. That's why I learned this thing many years ago. Soft leaders lead to weak groups. Soft leaders lead to weak groups. Because if they are not even daring to demand high standards for themselves, they will not be able to set high standards for the team. And that's very sad. Why? Because you see, as leaders, we have, but if you're not willing and not daring to set high standards for them, we set just low standards for them, they will only just play up to that low standards. And that's why they will never amount to top leadership, because we are the ones who are limiting them. Okay? So that's principle number 4, right? Did you set your bar higher to lead by example, right? Okay, thanks, Adrian.
Right. So we can see, stepping up your vision and, your attitude, everything leads to setting up the bar for yourself. So all these things are actually, consistent if you bring them to one common objective. And personally, Jet, I respect you as a leader because, we used to do 7 a.m. team calls. So that is something that...
Okay, man. I mean, I don't even want to wake up myself, but I know in order to inspire the group, I got to start the ball rolling, and that's part and parcel of the business. That's why, I mean, I apologized to my group recently, about 2 months back, that I came on board the business. We went RMD within a short period of time. After that, Mark Exeter appointed me as a regional trainer. He sent me across to very many continents to give talks, to give training. After that, we went holidays as well. In fact, right in the month of May, right, we were in Sweden. After that, we were in Norway for 2 weeks. After that, went to Taiwan. So for almost like 5 weeks, I wasn't in Singapore. And I told my leaders is that, of course, now we all know it's the right time to build a World Ventures business. So Serene and myself make a decision to come back all into the business. We are now building our second business center. And God bless, okay, by His grace, okay, we are going director in our second business center already, right? Okay. So that is why we need to set the bar high, right? Okay. And thanks, Adrian, for sharing that, because I suddenly remembered there's one thing which is very important in terms of setting the bar higher to lead by example. Is this is a very common mistake that even I myself in the past used to do, is that a massive mistake that I see so many leaders, including myself in the past, do is that, they think that, they can go into management mode and they just lead themselves all the way to the top without having to go back to the basics of inviting, presenting, closing, etc. Right? That's why I respect the leaders in one big team, including Eugene, Karen, Lucas, and all of you leaders out there, whereby even though you have achieved certain status in World Ventures, you are still inviting, closing, presenting, doing the basic things of sponsoring people yourself out there, right? And today I want to give you a homework, okay, right? I just suddenly remember I'm going to give you a homework, and the homework is look at how many people you have personally sponsored for the past 1 to 2 months. Write it down. Look at, or ask yourself, look at how many people you have personally sponsored for the past 1 to 2 months, and ask yourself this question. If everyone in your organization personally sponsored that many, right, would you have a team growing at a rate that would excite you? Right? So what I learned from Matt Morris is that very seldom do you have a team that is following you. Okay, I'm not talking about aces, because this topic about leadership, you're leading a group for them to grow them to become aces, right? Aces are what Matt Morris and, Mark Aceta define. Aces in his Gambler video at The View from the Edge is that aces are people whereby they come on board, they don't need any of your help and don't need much of your support, and they can go RMD, NMD, IMD within a short period of time, right? They don't need you to present for them. They don't need you to do anything, but they can go up the top ranks very, very fast. That's what I call ace. But most people are not, right? Okay, so you need to grow together with them. You need to lead them such that one day they can become an ace. Just like my mentor 16 years ago, I wasn't an ace when I first came on board the industry, but my mentor spent time and I'm totally coachable. And that is when I start to become an ace along the way in my 3rd year of business. So this is something that you got to ask yourself this question. If your group does what you do in terms of direct sponsor for the past 1 to 2 months, would it get you excited? Right? Okay. So right now, the answer to that question, and right now, I just lead to the principle number 5. Okay, I hope you're learning something here, but don't just learn it, rate yourself from 1 to 10, right? Principle number 5 of leadership is that, did you commit to personal development? And what I learned from Tony Robbins is CANI, continuous and never-ending improvement. CANI, continuous and never-ending improvement, right? Because to reach your goal as a top leader in this industry, it's not just learning about the business. You need to grow to become the person that can go out there and lead 30,000 strong, that can go out there and lead 100,000 strong, that can go out there and lead 1,000,000 strong. All right, clear so far? So what kind of person must you become in order for you to reach your goal? And that is something, I'm very proud of Eugene. Eugene shared this during the Chinese Zoom call on Sunday, whereby he talks about personal development and why we must be there at every major event, including View from the Edge, end of September. And let me share, I've invested more than $100,000 in seminars all across the world, including Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, T.R. Aker, etc., Jim Rohn, even while he's still alive, right? Okay, Tony Robbins coach. But I've never seen anybody, okay, as great in training as this guy called Mark Aceta, that even our co-founder, Wayne Nugent, would say he has spent so much money attending seminars, but he has never, ever attended the seminar like from Mark Aceta, right? So make sure that you are always committing to personal development. Okay, right? So that's principle number 5, right? Thank you, Adrian.
Right. So personal development means, keeping ourselves motivated and keeping books, reading books and watching meaningful movies and learning from leaders. And that is something we should be aiming to do every single day. Right.
Yes.
So let's go on to point number 6.
Thanks so much. Okay, Adrian. Principle number 6. Principle number 6 is that this is very important. Leaders must have the heart to serve. Leaders must have the, they always say, must have the heart to serve. Because you'll come across people that you put in time in, and then after a while, they left the business. and your heart is broken, right? But if you continue to have this heart to serve, right? And what I learned in Mandarin many years ago is that 只求付出不求回报，没有到不了的地。If you just focus on giving, if you just focus on contributing without expecting any results, there will be no place that you cannot go to. There will be no results that you cannot achieve, right? If you just continue to focus on having the heart to serve and contribute to your team, contribute to this society, contribute to the company, and contribute to, okay, mankind, right? And really, that's very important because you need each and every one of us. I believe we are born onto this earth, not just to serve our own family, but to literally let our light shine. Okay. So as a leader, you need to ask yourself this question as you step up as a leader. Do you have the heart to serve, right? Do you have, okay, right? Okay. This energy to forever let your light shine. If you focus on just helping other people, you will forever have the energy. But if you're just focusing on your own results, and very soon you'll get punctured, okay, in energy. Very soon you'll get pancit, right, okay, in terms of Hokkien. And that is when that will not help you, right, be able to persevere. So like Saturday evening, okay, very proud of JX and Gleanies because they were talking to their team all the way till Saturday midnight. Can you imagine Saturday, you know, they got a family to, you know, be together with, but they were with their team, okay, all the way till midnight, right, at McDonald's, right, all the way till midnight because they're out there to serve, they're out there to let their light shine, right? And that's why I'm so proud of, you know, leaders like Eugene, you know, you see him flying, right, like taking taxi, yeah? And, right, sometimes, you know, I mean, leaders, we can tell leaders, right? Okay, leaders, we can feel leaders, right? It's not to say that we are not feeling tired, right? It's not to say that, you know, leaders that, wow, they have super energy, wow, they're Superman. No, no. They feel tired as well. They feel down as well. But because they have this heart to serve, to contribute to their team, to contribute to society, and that's when they keep on going and they keep on pushing, right? Okay. And I'm so proud of this couple, you know, Karen and Joseph, always there taking massive action, right? Okay. And Mike, you know, my beloved Mike So as well, right? And my brother, always there at live presentation, okay? And that is when, you see, I told the leaders out there is that, you know, if you are the leader, right? Choice, right? Unless you're overseas and no choice. Because recently, I had the chance to work together with Edwin. Some people call him Pastor Edwin. And he's the last person that you will ever find to have time for the live presentation. Why is that so? Because he's an associate partner at a top consulting firm with offices in Middle East, in Africa, in Asia as well. And he's got, you know, just this little number of children, just 5 children. Eldest 19 years old, youngest 1.5 years old, and he volunteered as a pastor in his church, in his ministry as well. He should be the best person to say, hey, Jet, I no time. Live presentation, I cannot come. Tuesday, Thursday, I cannot come. Wow, invite, cannot, no time. I have no time to invite. I have no time to present. Why? Because I'm an associate partner, you know, Jet, I'm an associate partner in an IT consulting firm. I have to travel. I have heavy commitment to my job. I have 5 children, you know, Jet, you only have one. I have 5 children, you know. At the same time, I work as a pastor in my church, you know, right? And he could give all kinds of excuses. But because he has the heart to serve, and that is when, okay, he is forever not just showing, presenting himself, he's helping his group as well. And that's when right now his group is growing by leaps and bounds. So principle number 6 is that, do you have that heart to serve on the point of 1, scale of 1 to 10, right? Thank you, Adrian. Right.
All right. So remember, when we serve, go all out and, you know, really give from the bottom of your heart, and that is where you will achieve things that you don't even imagine to get back. Right.
Yep.
So,
Adrian. So you see, you know, my dear cousin-in-law together with his wife, Care, my very own cousin, right? Okay. And at times they know that there's nobody taking care of their child, okay, right? There's nobody taking care of their daughter. So what they did is that they just bring her to the live presentation and Majestic and just put her inside the, the glass door and the cry room, etc. So that's what I call by having the heart to serve and being committed to the vision, being committed to the team as well, right? Okay, so that's 6. And last but not least, I want to share with you principle number 7, right? And thanks to all of you, right? We have close to 400 people calling in, okay, from all across the world, and you're still dialing in at this point in time. Now it's 10:56 p.m. And that's when I want to send a message out there to all leaders out there. Don't be soft, right? But of course, you need to get a consensus from your team leader. And later on, I believe Adrian is going to ask me a very important question in terms of how do you identify a true leader, etc. I'll cover that, okay, in a short while. And principle number 7 is last the distance. Last the distance. Do you have the persistence and determination? I've seen too many people, they come on board, yes, for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe 1 month, 2 months. Wow, they're very good, massive action and things like that. And after they face some rejection and obstacle, they just give up totally as a leader. Or they no longer put in the work that they're supposed to put in already. And let me share with you, this is not a 100-meter race. This is going to be a marathon, right? You don't come on board this industry within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months and expect to be a top leader and expect to be a top income earner. Let me ask you a question. How many years have you worked in your job? Some of you maybe say 5 years. Some of you maybe say 10 years. Some of you maybe say 15 years. Some of you could tell me now that, okay, you have worked in the corporate world for 20 years. And let me ask you a question. Okay, are you having your desired salary and income? Are you having time freedom? Definitely no, right? But what if there's an organization whereby you put in 3 to 5 years of consistent top effort and you are able to achieve financial freedom? Would that be worth it? Definitely, right? So I've seen capable people, potential people come on board the industry, come on board the company, and they don't last the distance. After 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, some after 6 months, you don't see them there anymore. Very sad, right? And the sad part is that they think that, oh, maybe I should go and find another new company to join. Then maybe my chances of success is higher. And I shared this in Sweden recently. If you don't know how to swim, no matter which swimming pool you go to, you will still drown. Clear so far? And World Ventures, in my opinion, in my experience, is the best swimming pool you can ever find for you to learn to swim and swim very far as well. Right? So that's something, you know, like I'm so sad for people whereby they keep on jumping companies to companies, you know, ventures to ventures, industry to industry, and they will never be able to amount to anything in their life. Why? Because they don't last the distance and they give up easily, right? So that's principle number 7, right? I pray, I hope that you have benefited for these 7 principles. Rate it from 1 to 10. And, right, talk to your leaders tonight. You can even submit your ratings to your leaders, right? And if you got a leader that's willing to be tough on you, congratulations. Just like what happens to me when I first came on board, I got mentors whereby they're very tough to me and they expect me and set high bars for me. And that's how I'm able to become the person I am today. Right? And if you can find one leader that's able to expect high standards from you and demand tough expectations from you, you are the most blessed person on earth, right? Okay. So, yep. Thank you, Adrian. Right?
All right. I hope everybody has benefited really from this amazing call. It's 11 o'clock. Let's do one more question, Jet. Let's do one more question. The question which okay. The question which you mentioned.
Right. Yep.
How do you identify a true leader? What do you see? Yep.
Okay. I like Adrian because he saved the best for the last, right? He saved the best for the last. And that is when I spoke to Adrian that why not we talk about leadership, and very early on, okay, he sent me a list of at least 8 to 9 questions. And one of these questions that both myself and him, we concur and agree that This is the most important question. Of course, 7 principles are very important. And as you already move yourself to be a leader, right? Then you got to know how to identify a true leader as well. So thank you, Adrian. The question is from him, right? In fact, today, the flow of it, okay, is from Adrian as well. Let's give Adrian a big hand, right? And I need each and every one of you out there to thank the host team, right? Glenis, Christina, I can't remember all the names, but thank the host team because they sacrificed their Monday evening. All of them have family members as well, their loved ones, but they spend time to find the right person to interview such that they are able to give the best back to the community, right? So most of the people only can hear the speaker, can hear the leader talk, and they never focus on the host. But today, I would like on behalf of one big team and everyone out there to give, really, we should give the biggest round of applause later on in the SR chat group, in whatever chat groups you're in, right? So please thank all the hosts for doing such a fantastic job. Because let me share with you, they are not paid, but because they have a heart to serve, right? Okay? And it's not just calling in, okay, 9:59, and after that, just ask a question, that's it. They got to sometimes spend like days of preparation with the person calling in such that you can gain the most amazing benefits. So not just we call in, but really got to thank the host team as well. Let's give them a big hand, right? So yes, okay, Adrian, you were saying, what's the question again?
Okay. Thank you so much, Jet. I think we are humbled.
Yep.
For the host team, we really want to bring the best topics to everyone out there. So it's been a privilege to really serve in this team. Okay, so the question, how do you identify a true leader in the organization?
Okay, very good question. I like that question. How do you identify a true leader? And I think, first of all, we got to define what defines a leader, right? Of course, just now we mentioned the 7 principles. And if I just were to fine tune it to three definitions, is that number 1, a leader is definitely a professional student of the business, right? A leader is definitely a professional student of the business, right? I was in Plano, Texas for the United event, okay, this April in USA, flew 9,700 miles there. And you can see all the top rows of people sitting there are all the top income earners. And they're copying notes. And that's when, how would you define a leader? A leader is a professional student of the business, of the industry, right? That's point number 1. Point number 2, a leader is definitely someone, which I shared just now, someone who does his or her business without your constant motivation and checking. Without your constant motivation and checking, right? And third definition I will put in is that a leader handles problems and they won't pass the problems to you. Right, okay, right? They won't pass the problems to you, right? So be it in terms of registration or whatsoever, they don't come to you, right? And how to know whether that person is a true leader? Very important. What I learned for the past 16 years through my mentors back 16 years ago is that you need to test them. Don't spend your time on everybody. Don't spend your time because your time is the most precious commodity, right? Only spend time with not people who want it, not with people who must succeed, but with people who deserve to succeed. So how do we test them? You can ask them a very simple question. How do you feel about the business? How do you feel about the business, right? And usually, they'll come out with a few replies. The first reply will be, well, Jed, okay, well, Adrian, okay, maybe I'll try, I'll try the business, see how it goes. And that's the weakest form of commitment. All right, and with that answer, you should be putting this person, by the side already, right? Okay, not to say we don't spend time with them, but maybe you just spend 10 or 20% of your time or less on him or her. And the second kind of answer could be, I'll do the best that I can. I'll do the best that I can. Okay, this is crap as well, right? Okay, because do the best. What is your best, right? The kind of answer you are looking out for is that I will do whatever it takes to become successful. I will do whatever it takes to become successful. Right? And that's the highest level of commitment that you should be looking out for. Okay? And this kind of person will be able to withstand hurricanes of negativity and the rejection of families, friends, and even close and loved ones. So you're looking for this group of people. But you see, we have learned over the years, don't observe what they do. Okay? Observe what they do. And what you can do is that give them a book. Oh, I'm teaching you the best trade secret I've ever learned in the industry, right? Okay? Right? Okay? Don't put the recording out there. Those who call in, right, then they'll benefit. Would that be okay? Right, Adrian? Don't put the recording out there. Okay, right? So what happens is that give them a book or you send them a half-finished article and see whether they ask for the second part. Right? Give them some homework to do. Like steps to goal setting. Like, rate yourself 1 to 10 and talk to your leaders about it. And see whether they pass your test. See whether they do what they say they will do. And if they fail your test consistently, week after week and month after month, then I would say, right, this, I think in my past 16 years of experience, will never be able to grow to be the top leader unless that person's attitude suddenly changes all of an instant. Unless that person goes for a major event and then everything just changed, right? Or else, if you give them tests, they do it, let me share, they will not be able to grow to become a leader. I'm not looking at their capability. We should not be looking at how many contacts they have, how capable they are, how many friends they are, how much sales and influential capability they have. No, we're not looking at that. We are just using this test to test their attitude, to test whether they have a huge desire to become successful in this industry. So pass them a book, get them to get back in maybe say 2 days time. And those that deserve your time to work with them, they will normally get back within 2 days, right? So that's how you identify leaders, and only time will tell, right? Okay, thank you, Adrian.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Jet. We really had a lot more questions to ask you, but time is now 11:08. Let's do this again the next time. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, guys, please bear with me for the next 1 minute. I need to do this, okay? I need to tell you about the next coming event. This is the view from the edge. And this is the event that Jet is promoting. Everybody is promoting. You need to be there. We have 10 days to go. View from the edge, okay? It's going to be held in Hong Kong. Please talk to your leaders. Leaders need to be at every single event. And your attitude determines your paycheck. So View from the Edge 2017 is happening 29 September to the 1st of October. And that is the announcement that I have. I need you to know that this is very important. Tomorrow, there'll be a live presentation at Chinatown as well as HQ. So be there at the live events as well, get to know more people. And that's all from me this week. Sorry for the overrun, but I hope everybody had fun and get excited tonight, okay? Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.